Y'all want another update? All right, here it comes. So, you may notice it's not nearly as shiny as it was previously. You may also notice that this stuff looks a lot like somebody sprayed a bunch of epoxy primer on it. You may notice this is dang near perfect. A little bit, if you can just see it. A little bit of an imperfect line there. Gotta fix that. This side, more of the not super shiny stuff. All right, so let me explain what's been happening. First of all, I was right about the paint job. I wasn't as right as I thought I would be. So what you're looking at is me going over the car, except for this little spot right here. I gotta do this bit. I went over the whole car in 600, except for the roof, because the roof is done. Went over it in 600. I finished the hood and the bumper, and worked on the trunk. I thought I was going to have to use bond filler to fill in this stuff, but I had so much epoxy primer on here that I was able to just sand it smooth. So trunk is ready. This side's ready. I need to get, you can still see some orange peel. So it's really close. I got out all of this is the crease from the door ding. And the bottom, I got the sill just about the way I wanted it. So why am I doing this? If you'll remember, there was, I tried to paint the car, screwed up the epoxy primer coat, and that's why I have a new paint rig and all that stuff. So we worked out the kinks. The new gun works really well, but we got to fix the old mess. Basically, I have a kind of expensive guide coat on the car right now, on top of my epoxy primer paint job. So good news is I apparently put enough epoxy primer for enough sealer. I'm just going to call it sealer. I hate it when people call it epoxy primer. I put enough sealer down, badly, but I put it down to where it stuck and it's good, and I laid some color on top. One coat of color on top, and that coat is basically acting as a guide coat. So you'll see here, I went through, well, this spot's perfect. And that's where the trunk spoiler holes were. The same thing with right here. So I've been able to go around the car and basically on the trunk and on this side, find all of the imperfections that I missed in my first go around. And that's with leaving some more orange peel. I got to go over it again to get all the orange peel out because we want a perfect substrate. Basically, I want the entire car to be done up in 600 with a nice, even matte finish everywhere. And I think, I got to do some checking, but I think that if I prep it right, I should be able to just spray color on it, assuming I don't bust through anywhere. So, like in that spot on the other side, I busted through and I didn't have any 2K. Oh wait, let me back up. That's the reason why this stuff is just epoxy primer instead of 2K. I ran out my little seal on my mixer for my primer. I wasted about 50 or 60 bucks worth of primer over there. Made me sick. But it should be that lighter gray, but this is fine. I was able to wet sand out all the stuff I wanted to do and get these looking the way I wanted them to. I'll explain that in a second. So what I'm doing right now is going around the car and just wet sanding the car one go over to find all the issues. So I'm working on this today. I think I found all the issues on the other side and fixed those. So this side is a lot less problematic. So that's what we're up to. We're a lot closer than you think. With the motor, I did the at least 10 warm-ups, like heat cycles, and I finally figured out my cooling fan issue. It was some weird combination of not using the stock tune. The aftermarket tune had the low-speed fan turned off, and the CCRM. So my my theory right now is something went wrong with the CCRM. It was popping fuses whenever the low-speed fan came on. They turned off the low-speed fan to compensate for that with the tune, and whenever I put the stock tune back, it came on, the low-speed fan came on, but it popped that fuse because of the CCRM. Hopefully that's what it was, because I bought a new one. I have replaced the fuse, the CCRM, and we have the stock tune back on the car, and I've run it 3 times since I did that. The low-speed fan comes on at 180 degrees, exactly as it should, I think, and that's it. It stays, temperature stays right at about midway through the coolant gauge, so I think we're 5 nines on that thing. Still runs a little bit rough because high compression pistons, stock tune, different heads. Maybe the cams are slightly different because they're 99 cams versus a 97. So, oh yeah, maybe that's why. Anyways, I don't really know the difference between those 2 cams, but yeah. So it seems to run okay. I drove it a little bit, but I'm not running it a whole bunch because I don't want it to mess up before I do my tune. So I did the oil change, and I put in, the tuner recommended I did basically 10 heat cycles. That's what they do with their motors they build. And then change the oil and then put this stuff in there whenever I do the oil change. I was unable to find pure dyno oil, so I used standard Motorcraft synthetic blend because I couldn't find anything that wasn't a synthetic blend. But this stuff has all the good stuff that's for a new engine. So, yeah, hopefully we're good on that. It seems like everything was cool. Here's the oil that came out of the filter. It's yucky, obviously, but there's no shavings. There wasn't any hard stuff in the oil pan. Like anything that I could pick up, it just broke apart in my fingers. So no big chunks, no metal, no chunks of aluminum like the other. If you remember the other one, it was bad. I got a oil filter cutter coming for the oil filter, so we can open that up and hopefully feel really good about it before I go pay some dude $600 to tune my car, so it doesn't crap all over the dyno. Yeah, what else? Oof, we got a lot going on. Okay, so these, you may notice something different about these. They do not fit like normal SN95 scoops. You know why? It's because I spent a lot of time filling in all this gap around here with fiberglass Bondo, basically. Fiberglass infused Bondo. It wasn't a huge gap, but it was enough to make it look unsightly. So basically perfectly fit both of these guys. I think we're going to paint these black, just gloss black, and so they'll kind of pop out of the hood while still looking sort of stock. And okay, what else? So that's that. I think I got the hood pretty well sorted. We got the bumper pretty well sorted. Wheels, yeah. So here's the deal. Before you order anything from American Muscle, make sure they have it in stock. If you order more than one, make sure they have it in stock. Call them, make sure they have the quantity you want, because their system is screwed up. I ordered a set of wheels, spent a few weeks waiting on them, checked Monday, saw that it was no longer back ordered because I returned something. and it said, you know, package return, whatever. Their system sucks, basically, is the highlight to this whole thing. There's something up with their integration. They need to get it fixed. I've tried to offer feedback so that they could get it sorted. 'Cause I mean, this sort of thing is what I do for a living. But I mean, I'm not anybody special, so who knows? I mean, they probably sell more than enough stuff to worry about that. Not worry about that. Anyways, I sent the old wheels, the wheels they sent me, the 2 wheels they sent me, because waiting on the third and the fourth one, the front ones. I sent them back. I was like, screw this. I'm done. I'm gonna pay the $100 more to LMR. I got my 03 Cobra reps. That's a staggered set. Within like 2 days. LMR is awesome. Late model Resto. They don't sponsor me. The only affiliation I have with late model Resto is I've given them a lot of money and they always give me the stuff I need. And even whenever I screwed up an order, they took care of me. So they're awesome. American Muscle, get your act together. I used to really like you guys, and I'm not going to talk trash about you, but you need to get your crap figured out because you are not the only game in town anymore. LMR's coming for you if you don't get your stuff sorted. So that is it. All right, I'm going to get back to work. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Take care of one another.